Oh my God! Well, now we're branded Porsche people, but now you just put me in front of one of my all-time greatest dream cars. I just have to go over here, Mike. Who the hell has a Daytona like this? An early Daytona, see-through headlights, black, Borrani wheels. Is that your car?
I wish it was my car. Definitely not.
What a car! What, mamma mia! Hey friends, I'm kind of fiddling with the camera because I want to catch Mike and I want to catch the Pelican Parts. We're on our educational journey through Southern California, the home of Porsche tuning and Porsche aficionados. And today we have the privilege of visiting Pelican Parts, where I have been a customer. I mean, 25 years ago, I think I laid down my first order.
Nice.
So it's a privilege to finally be here. Mike, thank you for inviting us in. How long have you been here?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. I've been with Pelican for 11 years now, and I'm excited to give all the viewers a chance to see what we do here.
You're like a bronze man where I'm a platinum customer. I was here way before you.
Nice.
No, it's great to finally be here. This is like a business visit, and I'm hoping you just, show me around and show our viewers. I mean, now we know what you do, but how the hell do you do it?
Yeah, we'll bring you inside and kind of give you a look at it. So,
great.
At Pelican Parts, we're definitely here to empower consumers to perform and do their own work and repairs on their Porsches and other vehicles. So the entire team that we've assembled here is dedicated to that pursuit. So we'll bring you inside and give you a quick tour of what we have. This right here is our customer service area, which it's a little bit later in the day, so some of the people on shift have gone home, but this area houses our customer service area. Something that most people might not know about Pelican is our sales team is 100% remote. So we have people that are in Kentucky, Florida, Arkansas, Washington. The key to building our sales team is not where they're geographically located, but the knowledge that they can bring to the table. So we really seek to find Porsche experts wherever they're located. So that's something kind of interesting people are surprised about, but our team is definitely spread throughout the United States.
Yeah, because what I often run into in this kind of business is that the people handling the phones are not just handling orders or numbers or products. They're actually advisors, because many customers have all sorts of questions to be sure to get the right product. It's like this. Are they all Porsche specialists?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things that we're really proud about. The guys on our team are enthusiasts their own. They've most likely worked on the car that you're building or know a lot about the car that you're building. We need to consistently offer value back to our customers in many different ways, and that personalized support that our enthusiast-based team offers. You're not just getting some random parts guy at a counter that's looking something up on a computer. You're getting an educated enthusiast that is there to serve you and help step you through whatever questions you have about your vehicle. This area actually, this used to be part of our warehousing, but we've moved to a larger distribution center up the street, which we'll take you guys to. So this area has become car storage and a workshop area. So lots of different things here and present.
Oh my God! Well, now we're branded Porsche people, but now you just put me in front of one of my all-time greatest dream cars. I just have to go over here, Mike. Who the hell has a Daytona like this? An early Daytona, see-through headlights, black, Borrani wheels. Is that your car?
I wish it was my car. Definitely not. So,
do you sell any products to a Ferrari like this?
No, we don't do any Ferrari. So again, this is available for local car storage. So there's collectors that have overflow that need to store their cars, and this is a space that they can go ahead and do that.
Oh, sorry about that. I just got carried away for a minute.
Sure.
Wow, what a car! What? Mamma mia. That is JP relevant product, so we should definitely have that in our video, because you do lots of things for these cars.
Beautiful. And as much as I also love Mercedes, I couldn't help smiling when I looked behind the seats. What have we got?
Ah, there's a Porsche cap.
Oh, nice.
So just because you love one, you don't necessarily hate all the others. No. All right, let's get back on our horse, Mike. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no
Beautiful
worries.
Porsche there.
All right. And then we can welcome you into Wayne Dempsey's collection, who's the founder of Pelican Parts.
My God, Mike.
So
I'm having a heart attack right here.
Yes, there's many wonderful vehicles. Wayne has a very eclectic style for his car collection. So everything from 935, 962s, 356s to a lowrider. I don't know if that's an Impala back there or what. I think that's a new one that just showed up back there too.
Oh, there's a 599. Oh my God, there's a little Alpine.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm at a loss over here. What on earth is this?
That's a probe.
A probe?
Yes, a probe.
Help me out.
I actually don't know too much about that one. I think there was, don't quote me on these ones because I think there was 5 of these made, I want to say, but I could be totally wrong on that too, so.
Never mind.
Yeah.
1969 Adam probe, Stanley Kubrick, Clockwork Orange. I'm gonna Google it.
Okay.
With a sliding roof and a top-mounted rear-view mirror. A very special, look at that steering wheel. A right-hand drive. Yeah. You think you've seen everything and then you find out you've seen nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing, Mike. This has absolutely nothing to do with the running business of Pelican Parts,
No,
but this is just your extravagant owner's garage.
Yes, yes.
Amazing. Thank you for swinging us by.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
A treat to the eye.
This is our distribution center, so there's a lot that goes into having that package arrive at the door. So I'll take you guys in a tour to see how it all kicks off and begins. So this is our receiving area, which is one of the most critical components to our operation because if something's received wrong, it's wrong throughout the entire warehouse. So our team here receives products, checks them in, we get them labeled to get put away. And one thing that's great about our system too is it lets us know, hey, how's it going? If a product needs a photo to be on our website or if it already has one. So if it doesn't have a photo,
so you had the photo booth over there.
An icon will pop up and then we'll go ahead and route it to the photo booth and it'll go ahead and get a picture taken. So we have a couple of different photo areas, one for the large products, one for some of the smaller products. But we make sure that we try to catalog and capture every single image and part that comes through our warehouse. So we have just over 2 million parts available.
Oh, look at that. It's good old
on our website
home.
now. Yeah.
Did you do that for me, Mike?
Yes, exactly. Good timing. So
let me ask you this quirky kind of way because I think it's easier. Is there anything that you don't do?
what do you mean we don't do?
Is there anything that I can't get here?
No, I mean, hopefully not. I mean, our goal is to have the largest Porsche catalog in the world.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we have just over, I think, 2 million parts now. And we're constantly looking for new vendors that make sense and are a good fit, that add value back into the community. We were actually out at the SEMA and APEX show last week, and we found a new guy who's making an evap filter for your fuel gases, basically. So if you have a classic Porsche in your garage, you may smell that gas sound because it's not getting vented properly or there's no filtration to it. They actually invented a new product with a charcoal filter that gets rid of that whole thing. Plug and play, you take your fuel line, evap line, plug it into that, put it back into the can, and it filters it through the charcoal filter. But we're always looking for those new products, and luckily JP Dansk also comes up with a ton of new products that we always want to make sure are in our catalog too. So our goal is to have everything, so you don't come to our site and say, hey, you don't have this.
Yeah, but this is so wonderful, Mike, because you speak straight into my unwritten manuscript, because this is what we heard at John Wilhoit, this is what we heard at Rod Emery's, that even though some of these cars are like 50 years old, you can still constantly evolve and refine and find little quirky things that you can improve and do better, and you're part of that.
And that's the great thing about our customer base. So we look at kind of car drivers in a couple of different buckets. One is the user, which is my mom or dad who just gets in the car and uses it. And then two is the enthusiast, which is everybody watching this and all of the customers that we service. So we want to make sure that we always are serving that enthusiast community, and that's what our entire team is all about. Our sales guys, if they hear about, hey, this customer found this new product and we don't have it on our site, they communicate that back to our catalog team, and we contact the vendor, try to source it and get it back on the site. So we definitely try to have our ears to the ground of what the customers are looking for, and then seeing how can we bring that into our system and serve them.
Mike, one of the things that I see here in America is that you do these packagings, you make these kits. So if someone wants to do like some sort of change, then instead of buying the product separately and having the hassle with all the numbers, then you pack them and you sell them as kits. I mean, that's really good service, I think.
Yeah, we serve the DIYer, the weekend warrior, the person that's doing the job.
Weekend warrior,
the person that's doing the job on their own.
Yeah.
And I think we've all been there where we're doing some job and we don't have
There's
the
a gasket missing,
or the bolt or this or that. So we create kits to take all the guesswork out of that. So if you're changing your clutch or if you're changing something as basic as your oil, our kit contains everything that you need to complete that job. So we don't run into that, oh man, the car's on the lift or on the jack stands, I got it all apart and I'm missing this bolt and I need to drive it tomorrow and I don't have that bolt. So that's kind of one of the problems we work to solve with offering our kits.
Do you, like in every other company, have to do an annual inventory for your tax report? And because that must be like a nightmare.
We used to do a four-wall inventory. Now we cycle count on a quarterly basis. So it's not one gigantic thing we have to do once a year. We just cycle through the entire warehouse about every 3 to 4 months to make sure that our inventory is accurate.
But did I hear you say 2 million products?
Available on the website, not necessarily in stock here. Stocking here, I think, gosh, what's our SKU count out? Like 56,000 SKUs, I think, stocking out of this facility.
Mike, thank you for taking me around. I have like this finishing question because you're kind of my eye into the future. If I ask you what's on its up and what's on its down, which kind of cars are you serving the most? Because that tells me which kind of cars are running the most.
Yeah, sure. I mean, air-cooled is still a big part of our base business, but we've definitely seen a lot of growth. As those cars get more expensive and more expensive and more expensive, there's less people, I would say, buying them and entering into the market right now. I mean, there's still some for sale, but a lot of guys are holding on to them. What we see a lot of new customers in, I guess you would say they're kind of entry level, is on the like 996, 997, 991s. Now that those are becoming a little bit more price attractive, they're now getting onto their second and potentially third owners, which those guys are more prone to do their own DIY and DIY work. we're seeing a lot of those as our growing brands. And believe it or not, too, Macan and Cayenne, just because of the sheer volume, and I think those being maybe the second or third car of the Porsche owner, we're seeing a lot of demand in those as well too. So it's exciting times. And one of the weird ones that I think people may not think about is the 944 is also becoming
good point.
A bigger one for us. So I was at a show a couple of weeks ago in San Diego, and I met a young gentleman. He just got his driver's license, and believe it or not, it was between a 944 and a 96 Acura Tegra, and he was going back and forth because both cars were 10 grand.
Yeah.
And he loved Porsche from the beginning, and he went with the Porsche, but we're seeing that as an entry-level vehicle too, and we wish Porsche would get back to their roots and try to develop something that's truly entry level to get more enthusiasts involved. And I think that's the hope of all of us, because we want to see people fall in love with the brand just like we have.
Of course. And for you, the business idea is that a young man who enters at a 944, he's going to progress and have a 911 eventually.
That's the goal, because just like all of us, he'll buy that one and flip it to the next one and flip it to the next one to hopefully flip up to getting his dream car.
Oh, now I get distracted. There's a Carrera 2 964 rolling in there. I'm going to change the perspective, because isn't that the whole deal, that a beautiful car just rolls up like that? Mike, thank you very much for having us and showing us around. That was awesome and very, very inspiring.
Nice. Thanks for visiting.
To all you people out there, if you need a bit or a part or a thingy, Mike's your man.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Hey, car friends. Thank you for watching JP Group Club. This is our new YouTube channel. It's obviously sponsored by JP Group, and we're aiming to tickle you in all the right places with information and entertainment pertaining air-cooled cars from primarily Porsche and Volkswagen. Stay tuned, and we're going to take you through production. We're going to test products at the workshop. We're going to take you to interesting places, drive fascinating cars, and meet relevant people. Help me get this show on the road. Press the subscribe button and like and whatever you can. Share it with your friends, and we're going to make it fly. Thanks a lot for watching.